Hey guys, Herbski here again, and today we're going to be talking about the Crosshair Generator map and the Viewmodel Generator map. Now, these are the two maps that I use to create my custom crosshair and my custom field of view, view model, if you will. Now, these maps are free to download from the community. So on the workshop. So all we're going to do first is, whilst in Steam, is just go to community and then workshop. Once in here, you're going to want to select CSGO. Okay. Now, to search for these, they have to be typed in exactly like this, otherwise they won't show up. The only thing that needs to be exact is the capital letters. So we'll download both now, and then we'll go into game and I'll show you how they work. So for the first one, we're going to go for the crashz Crosshair Generator V2. So it's capital C and just type in exactly like this. Okay, so we've got Crosshair Generator, search, and you'll have it just here. It's called crashz Crosshair Generator. You're just going to want to click on this. Now, the map could be updated by the time you've watched this video. The thumbnail may be different, but you just want to be looking out for crashes basically. So here it'll say subscribe. I'm already subscribed, so I don't need to click that now and unsubscribe myself. But what will happen is when you subscribe to this, you'll get a little download notification at the bottom of your Steam saying that it's downloading. Only takes seconds. Once you're done, it'll show up in your game when you try to find a new game and go to workshop. So that's the first map, and the second one is the Viewmodel Generator. Now for this one, you just want to type in Viewmodel Generator for capital V and a capital G. So Viewmodel is all one word, and press enter. And again, this is crashz. So click on it. Same again, you just want to subscribe to it. You'll get a little download notification, and once that's disappeared even, I do apologise. Once it's disappeared, it'll show up in game under your workshop settings. So now let's go into game and we'll see how it looks. Give it a few seconds to load up. I don't bother having the videos displayed at the start of the game. I just do my head in and the music annoys me. Okay, so now we're in game. What you're going to want to do is go on play game, and click on workshop. Obviously you can see I have several maps installed, but we're going to go ahead and first start off with the Viewmodel Generator because that's probably the quickest and easiest to do. So what you're going to want to do is just click on it, start local server, and wait for it to boot up. First time you boot up might take a little bit longer than the rest of the times you try it. Occasionally it will fail and crash you back out to the main menu of CSGO. If that happens, just try again. Choose a team, doesn't really matter. I prefer terrorists because I like my front side misty. Okay, so basically what this map will do is you can edit your field of view, your position of your gun. You can have it, you move it left, right, to the center. You can move it up diagonally, down diagonally. You can set it to a desktop position, which will give you a slightly longer field of view. Couch position will give you a slightly closer one, and classic is just a standard default. On the side you have some pre-made ones, so if I was to shoot, all you have to do is shoot. Basically, if I was to shoot launders, you see how the gun changes down slightly towards more of the center. Gangster, I have no idea why anyone would want to play like this. I can't even pronounce that. Trilux, I assume. That's a pretty decent one, nice and low down in the center. And then a few people I know do play with this style because it just gets rid of all the clutter around the edge of the screen with your gun. And it's not really for me. I suppose you could always increase your field of view, make it sit back a little bit more, a bit closer, a bit further away, but it's not for me. M7 I was using this for a while, but I found with certain guns like the AK-47, mainly rifles, there was a lot of bobbing up and down as you were running, and it just sort of distracted you basically. Again, M-Star, pretty decent if you want to get rid of a lot of clutter. Say you've got your AK out, you can just about see the end down to your stat track. Gets rid of a lot of clutter on the edge of the screen. And then the last one is Quake, classic Quake style, going almost in the center of the screen, but sort of blocks your field of view a little bit, I find. So now with these settings, you can either set it back if you don't like any of the preset ones. So say you're going to set it back to default. Okay, there we go. Set it back to classic. This is what it's like when you first start the game. I prefer to have mine set to desktop because I'm playing on a desktop. I like my field of view back slightly. There we go. Back slightly. And I also like it not too far to the left, not too far to the right. I do also like to have it down slightly, so it's just in the bottom corner of my screen, rather than it being up to high to the left. There might be someone hiding behind a box, but your gun could be obscuring it. And again, I'm not going to mess with these, but they're pretty self-explanatory. It moves it forward but up at the same time, and this one moves it backwards and down at the same time. So once you're done with this, this will save to your config file, so you don't have to do anything. You can share it if you wanted to, so you'll click there, it'll give you all the details of your view model if you did want to share it to a friend or save it for later in case you have to reformat or anything like that. And that's basically this map. I suppose the only other thing is left or right-handed. Left-handed to me seems really strange, and I don't know why it seems strange, but I don't think I could ever get used to it. So I prefer mine on the right-hand side. And that now is basically this map. There's nothing else to it. You can go outside through the water if you really want to dart, but it's a little bit useless other than that. So once you've found your perfect view model, all you're going to want to do now is just back out, exit to the main menu, and let's sort out the crosshair. So same principle for the crosshair. You're going to want to go to play, find a game, workshop, and then you're going to want to find crashz Crosshair Generator. It's just on the right hand side. Again, click it, start local server, wait for it to start up. Now on this map, what you're going to find is a load of preset crosshairs that people create and crosshairs that pros are using currently. The pros ones could change. I know people like Shroud, he's changing his up all the time.
Let's make this right as rain.
So they might not be exactly the same as what they are now, but they're pretty damn close. Same principle for this map. All you need to do is find one you like, say Dennis, shoot it, changes, there we go, Cold, changes. More teams here, you've got Fnatic, Ninjas in Pyjamas, Navi, Cloud9. Let's find one that looks, so you've got Scream here, uses 2 apparently, so neither of those take my fancy. I do prefer ones with a bit of an outline, sort of like Dupree's, but then with a dot in the center. But what you can do is you can choose these crosshairs, and then you can go and change it yourself over on the console behind me, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But just behind, there is a lot more crosshairs again. Banana Gaming, I'm sure you've all seen them on YouTube. Those are the crosshairs he tends to use. Again, these are all just crosshairs. I mean, why would anybody want to use that? Especially this. I mean, it's just a joke. I think some people just make them just to say they've made them, because these are just, to me, not practical. Okay, so what you want to do is find a crosshair that you like. I'm going to go back and find Get Right because I like his crosshair. He's also one of my favourite players. Over on this console here, what you can do is you can change it to how you want it. So once you've found one you can customize it yourself, or you can just go ahead and create any old crosshair that you want. On the top you've got the different crosshair styles. So you've got the sort of classic one with the dynamic, you've got static ones, more dynamic ones. They're all slightly different, but I like mine on number 4, no dynamic. I hate dynamic crosshairs, even though they're supposed to be better for you when you're first learning the game. I think they distract the eye. So what I like to do is I always like to have a dot in the center. So what you want to do is just shoot dot. Okay, it doesn't want to work today. There we go. So add the dot, and all you want to do is on or off. Okay, why is it not working? It's broken, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so it is there. Why is it alpha? Do apologise, it is broken. Oh, okay, it's playing up. I do apologise. Might just be me being a little bit stupid. The alpha basically, if we can carry on, is the opacity of the crosshair. What that does is you might not want it solid colour, you might want it a little bit see-through. So with the alpha you can change that. Well, I don't know why. There we go. This is not working. You can see now they've lowered it down. Shoot these as many times as you want, make it invisible. Don't know why you'd want it. We'll try an aim. There we go. You set it to 255, which is the default. Well, not default, but completely solid. No opacity to it at all. And then from there, just start going through and doing what you want to do. You can change the colour of your crosshair. So say you'd like red, grey, darker grey, blue, any colour you like. Doesn't really matter. But a little tip: the human eye can see more shades of green than any other colour. That's why most people use green. You can change the size. Again, you just want to shoot what you want. Make it as big or as small as you want. Just do a round robin. So you get to the end of one and shoot it, it will go back to the other side. So we'll just change the size back so we can see what we're doing. Thickness, self-explanatory. Increase the thickness of your crosshair. I don't like mine too thick. It's just distracting, I find. So we'll just take that back down to there. I'll change the size back down a little bit because that is a little bit too large. A bit more respectable there. Gap. This is the gap in between the crosshairs. So the gap anywhere around the dots. So you want to increase it so you can see if the head's inside it perfectly or not. Decrease it, get rid of the gap completely, and just have pretty much a solid X in the middle of your screen. The outline, I prefer to have an outline. We might need to just change the size of this so we can see a little bit easier. Maybe the thickness just to show. Now the outline is just going to be the black outline around the edge of it, as you can see there. I prefer to have a bit of an outline just so in the brighter areas of the map it shows up a bit easier. In the darker areas it doesn't really matter because it will obscure the outline, but you can still see the crosshairs fine. But in the lighter areas, say, I don't know, a flashbang or something's just gone off slightly, just about caught you, you'll still be able to see the crosshair fine because of the outline. So this is basically the console setting. So I'm going to just change mine back now to get rights. Add my dot, there we go, in the center. Change the size a little bit, I like it a little bit smaller, so I turn that down. Oh, no, turn it up. And then I like to add myself a nice outline. Let's see. Might not use it turned on. There we go, it's turned on now. So yeah, have myself a nice outline. That looks about right for me. Yep. And then also thickness is okay. Opacity maybe a little bit too light for me. So add a bit more opacity to it. Yeah, that crosshair looks pretty damn perfect for me. That's what I prefer to use. You can create a random crosshair, but it's self-explanatory. Basically, you just shoot it. I'm not going to do it. I'll just set my crosshair up. Shoot it, create yourself a random crosshair. Now, in the test zone, go through the doors to dart. You've just got basically. Oh, I should have shot then. Some enemies you can't kill for some reason. It's only the moving ones. So, nicer, thank you. You don't need to be loading this server, it doesn't make a difference. But yeah, you can check your crosshair against the backdrop, against sort of different sorts of enemies, how it appears, different colours, just to see what it shows up like. You can see if I'm aiming at the bright floor on the dust level, the green is a little bit washed out, but with my outline it's pretty easy to pick out. Go back up to the wall, the green's nice and dark and the outline's still there. Around here you can clear it, put back all the enemies. You can choose your different background to see how it contrasts against your favourite maps. I can't shoot today. But yeah, this is basically the Crosshair Generator map. This is what I use to change my crosshairs up. It's what a lot of my friends use. And I just find it helps a lot to create the custom crosshair that you like, especially being as the default crosshairs in the game are horrible. Everybody's got their own opinion and personal preference, but there's plenty of choice on here if you don't want to spend the time to create a crosshair. What I found to do is just choose one that looks best for you, one you think you're going to like the look of. Play a few games with it, maybe a few deathmatch games where it doesn't really matter how many times you die, and then come back and tweak it until you get it perfect for yourself. Like I say, mine, I like a nice green crosshair, black outline, dot in the centre so I can see if it's perfectly on the head or not. Yeah, that's basically it. So on the next video I'm going to be doing the recoil training and the aiming maps, so we can put the crosshair to good use, see how we warm up and help improve your aim and your recoil control and spray control. So guys, thanks for watching.